Hello, everybody. Mi amor. How are you?
How are you, my beautiful?
Oh, I'm doing okay. Okay, let's see who we got here. Oh, Christine, your devices are not connected. There you go.
She's coming.
There she is. Hi.
Hi, I'm here. Sorry, everybody.
Here.
That's okay.
I was hella busy.
Hella busy?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, thank you guys. I see all my birthday wishes. I appreciate it so much. You get a little older and it's gosh, it's another year. Ouch. Ouch. It's like, but can we maybe pretend like I'm 23?
Hell yeah.
Would be way more fun.
Okay.
Hi, Scout Inquirer, The Outside Girl, ATS News, Nadie, Twisted Gemini, Sleuth Investigates, BR the Star. I'm going to probably end up repeating people because you guys are in here just wishing me a happy birthday all the time. Veronica, Cement Shoes, Sunny, Shamita.
Hey,
Hi, Steffa, BG, Mama Bear. Let's see, I don't want to miss it. Pink Dahlia. Hi, love. Missed you on Friday.
Can you hear me? Hey, Pink. Can you guys hear me okay?
Hi, Britt. Hi, Jen. Hi, Morris.
Morris. Hi, babe.
I'm S. Hockett.
Wait, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So I was late for a reason. And Teresa, hands off the StreamYard, please.
Uh-oh.
Take your beautiful fingers off, please.
Okay.
Hands off. So I got to get it ready.
What'd you do? What'd you guys do?
We did a thing. Okay, give me a
Girl
sec.
did a thing. You'll see.
Hi to everybody who's coming in right now. I don't know what's happening yet, so.
And Teresa gets weird with feelings, so watch.
I don't like feelings.
Okay, can you put my screen in? My computer's like on a super lag right now.
It's in there.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I didn't
All the
even
pretty
have
colors.
time to, I didn't even have time to like export this, but we're gonna go for it.
It's still up. It's still big. I don't know if that's what you want.
What'd you say?
I said it's still like a big color screen. It's got a bunch of colors and stuff.
You don't see my whole screen?
No.
Oh my goodness. I might have to drop out and come back in again.
Hi, Amelia. Missy Green Bay.
But my Eagles won. Hi, Sky.
Let me see.
Outside girl.
Oh,
all right,
thank
fine.
you.
Hang on. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay. Now you got me all nervous. I don't even know.
I
don't even know what to say right now.
Sorry,
Hi, Pamela. Nice guy.
I totally thought of this a month ago and started it. Take me out of the stream so I can do this.
Take you out of the stream?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come back.
All right. I don't even know what to do now.
Okay,
I'm kind of like, what are you guys up to? Hi, Lori.
I can't even give you little smoke signals because she controls it back there.
I know, right?
Yes, they did. I know. Thank you all for being here. We know it's football Sunday.
It is football Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, we were going to do this yesterday, and then things are just kind of hectic, and timing for all of us was not really working out. So we were like, let's just do it tomorrow. Yeah. And so then Tiff's getting dinner ready for her kiddo, and then she's going to come up. Oh, Brittany, thank you. Pink Dahlia, thank you. Brittany. What are my birthday plans? Let's see. So last night, this is going to sound kind of cheesy. So my husband's like, what do you want to do for your birthday? And I was like, I want to take the kids to medieval times. You guys have medieval times?
Yeah. You
guys know what that is?
Yeah,
so it's like, you have like the dinner, and then there's like the show, and the guys are on horses, and everybody's like assigned a color. Well, my little one's never been, and we used to go often with the older ones. So I asked, like, I'm like, I want to go to medieval times. And so like a couple days later, he's like, were you joking? Like, you don't really want to go to medieval times, do you? I'm like, yeah, I actually do, because I don't ever do anything for my birthday. I like, he'll buy me dinner wherever I want dinner. You know, it's very, very simple. And then, you know, the kids sing me happy birthday or whatnot. So, thank you, Allie79. But I was like, you know, I really like medieval times, and I was like, let's do that. And so my little one could go, and he likes all that kind of stuff, which he was kind of afraid. So we went last night and did that with my brother and his family. So my niece, nephew, and my sister-in-law and my brother. And it was a ton of fun, and everybody's like, I love that place. See, I love that place too. My husband's like, what are you talking about? Why do you want to go there? I'm like, I love it. But let me just tell you, my husband had all kinds of fun, and he was out there, and he was like cheering on. We were yellow, and he was cheering on our guy, and they were like, everybody was going crazy. My brother and my sister-in-law, and they bought me a tank top that says wench. I'm like, that's appropriate, thank you. So no, it was a good time. Everybody was having some adult beverages, and yellow did not win. So then the kids were like, my little one's like, what? But my yellow lost. And so he kind of, as soon as yellow lost and they kept going, he like lost interest. But I was like, whatever. So he got, it was like more like his birthday, I swear, because he's the one who got like all the cool toys, like the fake swords and the stuff that's out there. He's the one who got all that. And so, I mean, overall, it was a good time. It was a good time. So we did that last night, and then just hung out there for a while. And then tonight I'm going to go have, every Sunday I have dinner with my parents, because they don't live very far. Oh, thanks, Shmita. Hi, Chloe Joe. Lori, you should find one and go, because it's so much fun. Hi, Kimmy Jean. So tonight it's no different. And I have a weird thing about birthdays. Like on birthdays, I have to be with my mom, because I feel like it's like her day too.
I love that. Oh, okay.
So I've never spent a birthday away from my mom. Like, even like, I mean, I may go out after dinner, like when I was younger or whatnot, but every birthday I've ever had, I've always been with my mom. And then I have like this expectation my children will do the same, correct? And I'm like, they probably will.
Oh, they'll be there.
Right now they will, but maybe later they will. So I'm gonna go have dinner with my mom and dad, and then I got homework to do. So I mean, it's like,
homework.
I had a lot of fun. It was good. And my husband got me breakfast this morning. My eyes look so puffy. My eyes are like, I'm like,
she's on this whole puffy thing, guys. Don't even.
I'm feeling really puffy today. Like, can you even see my eyeballs? Like, it's weird. But I've been staying up. This is my last semester in school. And I have 5 classes, and one of them is like, you have to write basically like a dissertation for a professor. So it's like 100 pages long on a topic. And so like every night I'm staying up until like 1 or 2 to work on this paper, so I don't screw myself in the end, because I'm a procrastinator, and I'll wait till the end to do everything. But I have 4 other classes.
The kids are back in school.
My kids have been back in school, so then I'm up every morning at 6:45 to take kids to school. So I feel like my face is like, it's like wearing on me. And then it's my birthday. It's like crazy. I'm like, how am I older? I don't want to. I just want to be in my 20s again. I had so much fun in my 20s.
Wish I had the energy I had in my 20s. I would take the energy. I feel like my mind, I'm a little bit, I lost my mind a little bit more as I got older. But I think
when you have kids though, like your memory leaves. You are so much more forgetful. And this, I always say, like, I don't know how people have like 10, 15 kids. Like I feel like they would just become dumb at that point, because I know that every child I've had, I feel like I've lost part of my brain.
Every time we have a kid, we get dumber, guys.
Every time you have a kid, it's like you lose part of your mental capacity to be able to like comprehend and understand things. I know it sounds really silly, but I don't know how people who have like all these kids are able to like still function as human beings. Aw, thank you, Pink Dahlia. Thank you guys. Aw, Jen Lou, you guys are so nice. You guys are so good to me. Thank you so much. Procrastinators unite. I know. So my husband last night, he was like, "You're really gonna work on homework?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna work on homework." And he was like, "Well, when's it due?" I'm like, "At this point, I can't even. There's not even a due date. It's like I just have to get shit done, because I'm going to be so screwed in December." Plus Christmas shopping, that I'm like, I can't do it. But if I want to graduate in December, I have to do it.
Yeah, like every day and every night, and
plus then there's all this stuff with Kiely that I can't stop.
I know.
All right, here we go. Let's see what we got here.
Okay, sorry. Hey, guys. Make it right.
I love this song.
What song? I can't hear anything yet.
You don't hear anything? I hear it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Why can't I hear it?
Every little thing she does is magic.
Oh my God, it's literally not even playing on my screen. Okay, well, tell me if it's going wrong.
It looks good to me. People are, I think somebody's talking, but I can't hear it. Can you guys hear people talking?
This is not going my way today.
I can hear the song.
Welcome to my life. It's literally, that is perfect because that's my life. Nothing ever goes my way.
Gosh.
You guys can hear it?
I can't hear it.
I can't hear people talking. I hear music, but I can't hear anybody talking.
I can hear the music. Definitely hear the music.
Hi, Karen. Thank you, Jane Doe. Am I echoey now?
No.
Okay.
You're good.
I can hear the music, yeah.
Yeah, we definitely.
Christine's gonna like lose her shit. She's over there.
Yeah.
She's gonna be like,
And that it's so good too that we'll get there. We'll get there.
all right, she'll fix it. If anybody could fix it, it's her. I heard police.
I
Great.
heard police.
Great. That's just what I need. That's just what I need today. I only heard Sting. Someone's like, I think I hear people talking. ATS. Hi, love. Crafted and Kim, thank you. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. I mean, it's super chill so far. Besides the fact I couldn't get on StreamYard. Other than that,
She's talking true crime with her friends. That's what she loves to do.
That's what I like to do. I know. My husband's like, "What are you gonna do?" I'm like, "I'm going live." He's like, "It's your birthday." I'm like, "Exactly," because that's what I want to do.
That's what she wants to do. I love it. I love it. Hey, Stepha. I heard a siren.
Great.
Right.
All right. Well, we don't have Tiffany up here yet anyway, so I wanted to wait for her before I played the video of Kiely's mom.
Okay.
So maybe we'll just chill for a little bit longer.
We can hang out for a little bit.
I like you guys enough, I guess.
We can hang out.
We can hang out for a little bit. Thank you, Delaney.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
Hold on, what did Crafton say? Crafton's gonna send something. Okay.
It's a good idea, VR.
Thank you, Karen. What was that?
That was me.
Did you just zap some bugs? What'd you do?
No.
So it sounds like, you know, those bug zappers that are outside. It's all bzzz.
Might be the air conditioner. Am I echoing now?
No,
I sound okay?
you sound perfect. Just like always.
I used to sound like I was back there before.
Like, hello, hello,
Hello,
hello.
Michelle. Remember the first like 2 lives? They're like, we can't even hear the girl in the middle. We don't even know what she's
Who
saying.
is she? Who is she? What's she talking about?
That's great.
Let's see. Oh, thank you, Southern Mountain Girl.
Yeah, T, why don't we do that? Why don't we do a poll for Kiely?
Because you guys don't know I don't know how to do that?
Oh, shoot, neither do I.
How do I do it?
How do we do this?
All right, somebody tell me how to do it. Hold on, let me go in here. I'm sure it can't be that hard, right? I mean, I've seen people do it. Thank you, Jordan. Oh, see, I really echoed there.
Oh. Why don't we do 1 and 2? If they think it's foul, hit a 1. They think it's
well, no, I want to learn it anyway. So since we're kind of chilling and it's my birthday, so
you can do whatever you want.
I can do whatever I want, really. And people can come and get mad at me, and I'll be like, I don't really care. It's my birthday. I can do whatever the hell I want.
Well, there we go.
Hi, voices. All right, let me see. I'm gonna figure it out. That's just how it's gonna go.
Oh wait, Jen Lou's walking us through it. Hold on.
Okay, go to YouTube at the bottom. Do I have to do it on? Can I do it on my phone or do I have to do it on my computer? That's fine. I can do it on my computer. Okay, go to. Okay, Michelle, you tell me what she says because that's a different screen.
I'll read you. Yeah. Come on, Jen Lou.
Okay. My videos. What do I do now?
Okay. Has to be computer.
Okay. I'm there. Do I go to my videos?
Okay.
Do I go to YouTube Studio or just my YouTube channel?
Hey, Lana. How are you? Okay. Go to your live.
In my studio, I assume then. Okay.
Just your channel.
Oh, nope. Shit. Okay, I went the wrong way then. Okay. I'm here.
Okay.
What do I do?
Hold on, she didn't comment yet. Hey, KB. Kimmy Jean.
Sorry, you guys, I can't see chat, so if anybody's talking to me, I apologize.
Hey, Jordan. At the bottom of the live chat, there's a create poll.
Oh, I actually have to go into the live? Okay.
Yeah.
Hold, please.
And then boom, done.
At the bottom of the live?
Yep, at the bottom of the live chat.
Oh, shit, I see it. There it is. Okay.
Thank
What am
you.
I asking? Foul play?
Mm-hmm. Accident or foul play. Yeah, they're doing their thing for sure, guys, for sure.
Okay, so
Always, Amelia, always. Jeff. And then boom, done. Yeah.
let's see. Okay, so it has like a yes or a no. I don't want those. So do I just leave them like that?
Yeah.
And they'll go away on their own?
I'll just give you the option to pick percentage.
Well, it's
Hey,
like,
Eden.
I'm gonna stick it up there. Let's see what it looks like. See, it's got yes, no. I don't like that. Get rid of that. Okay, let me try it again. How do I get rid of yes, no?
Oh, Jen Lou says you have to change it.
Oh, I just edit those. I got you. Okay. And then I can add other options if I want to. I got you.
Lana, dinner in a crock pot is life. It makes life so easy.
Okay, let's see. Let's see if it works. Did it work?
No.
No? You guys don't see it? Yeah, they see it. They're hitting the button. But how do I pin it now? Is it pinned? How do I pin it?
Oh, wait, it's up. It's up. Okay.
Somebody tell me how to pin it. I'm going to be like so YouTube smart by the end of my birthday.
Click
Dang,
the
yeah.
three dots. Jen said,
What?
Jen said click the three dots.
I did. It just says go to channel or end poll. It doesn't have,
Amelia says
anything
it's
good.
good now.
What?
Amelia says it looks good now. It only lets you pin stuff to the top chat now.
But is it pinned to the top chat?
Yeah.
It is. Okay.
Hey, Kate. Hi, babe.
Karen, you remember my first live on this one or my first live ever? Because on this one, I was rough. I was a nervous wreck.
You
It
did
gets
for the
better.
friend.
It does get easier, but it's still nerve wracking. I mean, it's like you have people watching you, so it's like it's kind of weird, you know.
No, but I
But then I'm like,
loved it
I
towards-
watch other people, and I don't
you
think
wanted
it's weird to
touch on
watch them.
Serenity. That mattered most. So you just went and did it.
I did. It was about Serenity.
Mhm.
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go talk about her.
Yep.
Hi, Kate does crime. Hi, TNT.
Look at Jen.
What Jen Lou say? Hold on.
Yes, babe, it's pinned. It could be more pinned. It's so pinned.
It could be more pinned. How do I pin it anymore? All right, let me go back over here now, so I can go back onto StreamYard and actually see what's going on.
Well, happy birthday to your son, Kate, tomorrow.
Oh, happy birthday to your son, little Virgo. Oh, hey, look at who's here.
Debbie?
Hey. Hi, you.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me to come here on your birthday. I had no idea it was your birthday. I was talking to you earlier, and I had to come back to our conversation because it's your birthday. She didn't tell me.
She just goes on like it's fine. We'll just go live.
Whatever. It is. Like, whatever. And she's like, "Is today your birthday?" And I'm like, "Yes, it is." She's like,
"OMG." Very happy birthday wishes to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. I'm so sorry I'm late. Nothing's going my way today either, just so you know.
Welcome to our
I think
world.
it's because it's my birthday. That's how it goes.
Yep.
You're so funny.
So I'm very excited that you're here.
I think so. I entered in the poll right on the pin comment you have, and I'm totally the 16%.
You're the 16%?
Yes.
Okay, that's why we're here.
Totally.
Well, so I think this is so anybody who doesn't know, so make sure at mods you guys dropped. Okay, you guys already are because it's just a delay.
Don't worry about my link or anything like
I'm gonna drop your link, girlfriend. Like that's just how it's gonna go. It's my channel and it's my birthday, and I can do what I want.
You can do whatever she wants today, okay?
But so at the beginning of all of this, I was very adamant that this was an accident. I was like, chances are, and I almost repeat myself. Thank you, Sam. That it's statistically this girl, 16 years old, she's at a party with her friends, most likely intoxicated, and drives, into the water, and an unfortunate accident occurs. Thank you, TNT. And as things have kind of progressed, I'm really struggling with keeping my percentage really high on the fact that it's an accident, just because there's so many red flags. Mm-hmm. Not that I'm anti-accident, so I'm probably more, I would say I started off probably 75-25, and now I'm probably more like 40-60. So like 40 accident, 60 foul play, or some type of nefarious.
You're kind of in the middle. You don't really know what to think, yeah.
I don't.
But you lean more toward foul play a little bit. So like how much of that do you think is so hard? Like where do you think that changed? Can you pinpoint the moment that changed?
Well, I think it gradually changed. So for me, at the beginning, the 25% I had for foul play was more because of her friends and the weird stuff that was happening with the friends. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of dishonesty and a lot of weird just energy coming from that group and I'll say one in particular, and it bothered me. So that's what I stuck with, the 25%. And as that started to go on, and then she ended up doing interviews on YouTube, it kind of gradually started to increase. And then I would say probably the next one, I don't know if AWP had happened yet. So I think I was about 50-50 by the time the AWP stuff came out. And then I think I dropped again with all this new stuff coming out of the water. This last week, I've dropped now that I'm more like, okay, what is going on? What is all this stuff? Why is this happening? Why doesn't anybody actually want to pay attention to what's going on with the case? Do they just want it to be an accident? So they're just like letting it lie instead of actually figuring it out if it's an accident. So I think that's what kind of dropped me the other 10%. And this weird loop that's hanging out the back of the car, that's really bothering me.
That I will agree with you. That's the only thing that really bothers me about her car. Like there's other things that bother me, but that's where actually my mind went to, what the hell is going on here? Like it definitely tilted the way that I saw things. I would say absolutely so. But I'm waiting to see if we can get an actual 2013 Honda CR-V, not a Nissan, not a CR-V from 1989, like an actual 2013 Honda CR-V, just like Kiely's. And there's videos. I've looked for them, but Yeah, see, that bothers me too, but we also don't know exactly what that is, right? It could be to a backpack, it could be a belt, it could be, right? We don't even know that that's what it is either. Like we could,
So that was my second thought too, was that it's like a backpack strap.
right? Yeah.
So I wondered, and I don't think it's the belt. So I did some playing around on like my editor thing just to see if I could see any resemblance to the belt. It just doesn't look like the belt to me.
Yeah, well, like where would the buckle be, right?
Well, no, like even if it's like, so it's like, say it's coming out and it's kind of like folded around. I just don't see the belt. I don't see the structure of the belt. Like, you know, because it's kind of like almost studded, and you would see, even if it's folded on the other side, it would go, and it would still be thicker, if that makes sense, like the way it would fold, because it wouldn't be able to fold down like flat. And this is almost, I don't know how to really do it, but it's like folded, like where you can actually see like just a little loop. And if it was the belt, I feel like it would be like bigger. So, and my husband has worked with cars basically his whole life. He works for Bosch Automotive, and so I asked him, and he was like, "Let's pull it up. Let's pull up the manual. Let's look at everything that it is." And in his opinion, which I respect his opinion, he's a pretty intelligent guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's the one who came up with that it is that seatbelt and it pulls down. And I was like, okay, so what do you think about a backpack? He's like, possibly a backpack, but he's like, I think it's the seatbelt. And then the mob crew did a video with his SUV, which is not a Honda like you're talking about,
Right.
but it has the same concept, and it does. And his is for the middle seat, just like the 2013 Honda CRV. And the way he looped it out the back, I was like, I don't know if I think the tied up part, but I'm like, why would that be back there like that? Why would it be back and looped up?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it definitely bothered me as well. It definitely did. It was one of the main things that made me think deeper. You know, when I really tried, haven't really tried to pollute my mind at all when it comes to Kiely. I've been staying on. I really do believe she could have climbed back there trying to get air and to get out of her car. And I disagree, highly disagree, that it was impossible for her to have gotten back there. I think it's very likely, actually.
So I've said this, my husband. Oh, sorry, Michelle, go ahead.
When you panic so much, especially in that moment, who's to say what happened? You know,
Right.
There's all the possibilities. I feel like in that moment, you know, possibly could be.
But I'm not saying that, you know, something didn't happen, but I also feel like everybody just saw them go out and find that laptop. I'm pretty sure if we were looking at a criminal investigation, that laptop would not be there. Those other belongings would not be there. The sad thing to me is that the police would not want to do the service of bringing those items to her family. That's upsetting, but.
Well, and but how do they know if it's just an accident without getting all the information and all the stuff?
Right.
And not to say, yeah, it is for her family. That's her stuff. I mean, it's already bad enough that they know that she was there, but then just to, and it, you know.
Well, I mean, if they think that it's going to be an accident, then they're going to like prove the accident with like angles and speed and curvatures of the road and stuff.
And maybe that's why CHP is still there, because they're trying to reconstruct this accident. And that's why I feel like it's one of those things where it's almost like all the theories can kind of tie in with it being an accident too. And all the things that could have possibly happened while she was underwater. I mean,
Well, so when you started looking at the case, did you immediately think accident, and then it changed as well, just not as much as like mine has possibly?
Are you asking me?
Yep, absolutely.
All right, so this is the first thing I thought. This is exactly how it went down for me. I thought it was suspect. The second I heard about it, I was like, whoa, you know. Then when I saw the road leading out there to the water, it made so much sense. Like, but then the party locations the one they said she was at didn't make sense for her coming down through there. So I'm like, well, the party must have had to be over here, right to the left, because it would make no sense for her to come out of the right side, right? And come all the way down, take a left out, come all the way down and go around. It would make more sense. Just in my own brain, I don't live there, you know what I mean? But it's just to me. That was the original way that I felt. But after seeing that, I'm like, what if she had no clue she was driving into the water? But then people are like, well, she knows this area. She's only 12 miles from home. She went there all the time. Okay, well, then that's a problem, right? So there's all these different things. But I remember when the chopper was above her, you know, they were taking her car out. When I saw that straight shot into the water, like, and I get chills. When I saw what a straight shot it was, it made me really think, holy crap, like, did this girl drive out there into this water? Is it possible? I think it's possible. But then some say it's too bumpy. Like, you know, when you're getting close to water, I don't know. But I really do lean toward an accident. And I know that I'm like totally not the popular opinion on this. And even if it's not, I'll just say this. With her mom coming out like yesterday, I don't know how you guys feel about it. I feel like this family deserves grace. And I feel like this family deserves, and the children too, the teenagers, whatever is going on in that community. She has not been laid to rest. You know, the autopsy has not come back. Maybe the family might know things that we don't or whatever. But why? And I'm not talking about anybody here. I'm talking just about what I'm having such a difficult time watching some of these channels is like really getting to me.
Totally
So,
agree. I totally agree with you.
You know, there's a million reasons why, but I don't know. So what do you guys think of what I said? Because that's how it started for me. At first I thought no way, right? Like, but then when I saw the road leading right into the water, everything changed for me.
I have that picture. I was trying to pull it up, and I don't know why I can't find it right this second, but I do
I
have
it. Do you want me to send you the one?
No, that's fine. I'll find it. I want to play. I know you put it on your channel, so I'm just going to play it straight from your channel. I want to play her mom's thing because I do want to talk to you about this because, so for everybody here, like one of the reasons, well, I adore Tiffany. So Tiffany and I actually met through YouTube when I was covering Summer Wells and she was covering Summer Wells. And I would say for the most part, our opinions on Summer Wells were very similar to what we, thought about what was happening in the case and what we thought had happened to Summer. And I mean, they evolved and we kind of changed them, but for the most part, we were on the same page. In this case, I think that we're mostly on the same page, but I know that there was a couple things that as I was watching Tiffany's live streams that I was like, okay, I can see her point because I see where she's coming from with the family. And, but I also see the other side too. And I know she does. So one of the reasons I really wanted to have Tiff on was because people can go from totally agreeing on one case to not always agreeing on another case to totally disagreeing on another case. And I wanted people to be able to understand, like, that doesn't affect how I feel about Tiffany. And I don't think it would affect how Tiffany feels about me. Exactly. So I'm like, I wanted people to be able to see that because what happens in these cases, which happened in Summer Wells, well, my first instance was with Watts, happened in Summer Wells, started happening with Dylan Rounds. I'm sure you have other cases that you could name. And now is happening with Kiely's case. Is these creators, because you disagree about an opinion regarding the case when we don't have all the facts, everybody starts fighting with each other.
It's so difficult.
It does, and it makes it's really hard to want to talk about the case, but then you're like in these weird long-term fights with other creators that you don't even know.
Like, I can't give my opinion. Sometimes people go wild over like just the smallest comment. I'm like, holy shit.
I love those comments.
It is, but it's like, that's why one of the reasons I wanted to do this was because I think it's important that people understand, like, we don't have to agree on every little tiny tidbit of information to be okay with each other and to be able to listen and listen respectfully. For me, like, there's definitely creators that are covering Kiely's case that I'm like, yep, I totally agree with you. Other ones I'm like, whoa, that theory is way out there. I don't get pissed at them. I'm not in other people's chats being like, why do you have this person on? This person's terrible. Like, even though I don't agree, I still listen to different commentary because I want to be able to think outside of my own box in my own brain and see what other people think.
That's part of the reason why we come together as a true crime community. We talk true crime and we discuss things and theories and all that good stuff. And especially lately, we get into these missing kids too, especially, and then we end up with cases like Kiely and Dylan, and it's hard. It's emotional. A lot of us are parents, and we couldn't imagine going through this nightmare. But then we're on these YouTube streets, and everybody handles their platforms differently, and they allow different things and whatnot. And I think, but I do think that for the most part, we all definitely, even if we don't share the same opinion, all of our intentions are definitely good, and we definitely just want to help. If we're just sharing a story, spreading it, whatever, part of that.
Well, I think that there's viewers that think that we are about to solve this case or crack this case, and that is not what we think. We research and dig on stuff and look at things, but we are not we don't think we're gonna break the camel's back in any direction about
what did you say earlier? What was the saying that you said? It cracked me up. We're not gonna
be the cherry that breaks the camel's back
or something like that. Yeah, it was like a double. We're not gonna be the cherry that breaks the camel's back. And I'm like, dang, it's true, we're not.
Yeah, but we're we just like discussing the theories, and we channels handle their panels however they want and their chats however they want, but we don't just go ape shit in our chat and our panel, we have pre-expectations that people respect each other, respect differing opinions, and it just doesn't go to some of the extremes that other chats I've seen go.
Oh, I would never be up here, especially I don't know, I feel so different after yesterday. I would never be up here right now if I ever felt, I don't feel that way about Teresa or any of you guys. I literally adore all of you, and I was shit, I already said that I was going up there. I cannot back out on T, right? But no, only for her.
It's only her birthday and stuff.
It's her birthday, we gotta let her
leave me hanging on my birthday, Tiff. Then I would be like, all right, this isn't even about Kiely or Summer. You let me hang on my birthday.
We want Tiffany.
Because last night someone asked me if I would continue to talk about Kiely, and I said no.
Oh, yeah. Really?
Yeah. Okay, so let's play this video because the first time I actually saw this clip was on your channel when you posted it last night. And I thought, holy smokes. Well, I'm really glad that we didn't do the live yesterday.
I know, right?
But I mean, this is such a tough call. This is such a tough call because obviously this woman is extremely, grief stricken, and I don't ever want to take away from that. Let me play it just in case anybody hasn't seen it, or just so that we can talk about it. I'll add it and I'll play it. Hold on, let me get rid of that. Oh, Christine already did it for me. Look at that. Happy birthday to me. All right, give me 1 second to play it.
So grateful.
Can you guys hear it okay?
To have the opportunity to join together today with our friends, family, and community in Kiely's name. Though we gather together, grief and healing is such a personal and individual thing. Today we will honor Kiely in honoring each other and holding each other up as we grieve in our own ways. We'll laugh, dance, share stories, songs, and poetry, or maybe we'll cry in a corner or at the podium. It's all okay. We'll remember and we'll create new memories as we all learn how to move forward in a world where we miss her. We are so blessed to be able to miss her together and to walk together into tomorrow. The way that she has brought everyone together, even in death, is a legacy that I will cherish forever. I'm hearing stories about people wanting to be nicer to each other in her memory. Kiely's dear friend recently told her mom that before all of this happened, she thought the word community had no real meaning, that it didn't really exist. But after Kiely went missing, the way our community showed up in full force showed her that it in fact is so very real and so, so powerful. That kind of impact on our teens gives me hope The demonstration of strength and togetherness and the way that they have an army of supporters standing behind them will carry them far as they enter adulthood. We would like to thank everyone who has come together to support us in what we hope will be the most difficult time of our lives. There's no way that we'll be able to ever return the kindness, generosity, and compassion that has been extended to us over the last month, but we will live the rest of our lives trying, and in that trying, Kiely will be with us, reminding us to be kind, laugh, and sing, and that sometimes it's even okay to cry. In closing, I want to thank our media friends for respecting our request to give us privacy while we celebrate my daughter today. Unfortunately, the social media frenzy has become such a monster that our teens are suffering, and we want to create a safe space for them to heal together without fear of something being taken out of context. To anyone who gains pleasure or satisfaction from commenting online, I ask you to take a moment to look inward and to try to recognize your motive. Remember the 3 gates that all words should flow through. Is it kind? Is it true? Is it helpful? I implore you to remember that there is honor in silence and there is kindness in minding your own business. You are talking about the death of my child, our community's child. It's time to let our children mourn their friend quietly, peacefully. I hope you can find other, more beautiful and helpful ways to spend your time and remember Kiely. Call your mom, take a walk, pick up a new hobby. Please know we got this. Let her rest.
Applause. Go call your mom.
She's definitely, I think, a strong, fierce mama bear for sure.
Mm-hmm.
There's much to be said about those words for sure. She, I saw that right before we came on, half of it, and she got me towards the second half of. Everybody does grieve differently, and there is something to be said for silence and being. It's just heartbreaking. I can't even get the words out.
Have you ever been in that position where you don't know what to say and you know that saying something is going to be wrong and it's not going to make it better, so you do choose silence, right? To be respectful. It's so true. And I think that this family wants things to be very intimate and private. I think they're very private people. I just get this feeling like they live off the grid. They're very earthly beings, and I think this is just not their thing at all, so I think people need to understand that, but it doesn't seem like many do, or even try to understand. Do you know what I mean?
She's very much she's so grateful to that community, and that was part of my I was just blown by the fact, and I guess maybe I just was concentrating too much on the foul play, and then and for me it definitely, when the car was discovered, in my opinion, I don't know all the logistics to that, but as far as it, to me, man-made lake, man-made hole, car flipped over. So for me, I'm like, gosh, what happened this night? How could this happen in this way? And then so it was too hard to not think that this community didn't know something and that they were just being quiet. And I felt like that was more hurtful towards the family. But now you fast forward to this she's completely connected to our community, and she feels the complete opposite. And for me personally, I guess I don't have no choice but to respect that. I tend to stay silent sometimes so to hear her say that in that way says a lot for me.
You know what's like, see, like you feel a lot like I do, but then some people are like, no, it's our right to talk about it. It's our right. And I have to respect other people's decisions, right? But for me personally, it goes against what I was taught, everything I was taught to believe and everything that I was, but that's not for everybody.
Yeah.
But hearing her, I was like, no, I don't even know how this is going to go. Like, and then they started attacking the mom, and I'm like, oh my God. Like,
Oh,
this
yeah,
child
of course.
had her. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is her mom. She gave birth to her. That is her baby.
And,
So
and
I'll tell
I
you what my
honestly
struggle is. Here's
Okay.
my struggle with this situation. Is mom and dad are not together, and mom and dad seem to be on two totally different pages of what's going on. And I would love to hear from dad himself, but obviously that's his choice and not ours to make that happen. I absolutely feel mom, and I know that she was trying to hold it together, and people gave her a lot of crap because she wasn't crying. But
Right.
give me a break. Like, the woman has so many interviews where she's bawling her eyes out. She's purposely trying to keep her crap together to read this statement, and you can tell that she's struggling with it. I,
The breath that she let out at the end was like huge and enormous. You could see her. She just wanted to take over. And I bet you she was at that, that point where, so she's not even there yet. When somebody passes away that you love, right? Never mind it being your child, heaven forbid. You just want everything to be over. You want the funeral to be over. You want everything to be over. And you don't want to be in that space anymore. But then it's, I feel like that at the very end where she did that like huge deep breath was like, thank God that was over. She just,
yes.
why should she even have to make a statement? Like, that's the thing to me. This poor woman is grieving her daughter, probably hasn't even began to process the first stages of grief. And I see so many people not even trying to understand that. But then we complain about those who don't have parents, right? In the forefront. I've done it. I can't stand when I see parents not caring about their missing kid. It drives me insane. That's why I don't know. I see her I don't know. I see her in a completely different light than
one of my slight concerns, and I kept feeling inside like, okay, the mom, and it was, I believe it was the dad, the grandfather said that, this is the neighborhood backyard, so to speak. So it's Kiely's backyard. It's every child's backyard. So when she was found there, and I was thinking, I'm like, this lot is being sold, and is this family, like, was there plans to just move on from this community in a sense, just to do life, not anything with the community or anything. But and then here to think that if they did up and move, and this happened with their baby, and then to think that that whole time her baby was right there. And that's where, even for myself, maybe I crossed the line just in discussing that, because that right there just, it just blew my mind that here in the end, that's where she was. Accident, fail, whichever, that is where she was after all of that. And that's when I started.
EWP said that it was possible she could have been placed there afterward. See, right. And that's where, like, you've got all of this speculative information coming through that tells me.
That's not how I interpreted what they said, though.
You didn't interpret it that way?
No, because he said he had no reason, because I know Doug and Nick were both asked the question on different streams, and Doug said he had no reason to believe otherwise, that, like, the car had been there for 2 weeks.
Producer. So the executive producer went on Bullhorns.
Yeah, I saw that.
And spoke about it and said exactly that. So then you have to go back and watch.
I'll have to go back and watch his. I'm going to put together some little shorts on some of the things they've said on different streams. So I'm going to pull it. Yeah, but Doug said he had no reason to suspect that there was anything different. And when Nick was asked, his comment was basically, he's not experienced enough to be able to say that one way or the other. And, and how much difference would it be if it was, 12 days versus 14 days or whatever. He really didn't have an answer for that question. So that's kind of how I took it. And I listened to Carson's, like, there's been so many since then. That's why I want to go back and like put them all together. I don't know. Mom's getting a hard time for not saying something to AWP. What do you think of that?
Okay, well, so I don't think that, well, okay. Nope, I don't think people are going to like my opinion about this. But
I know your opinion, and I love you anyway, so you can say it freely. And if people in chat want to get mad, that would just be silly. So
it's fine if people want to get upset about it. I don't care. But I'll be like straightforward and honest about how I feel because I don't have any reason not to. So I think what might be going on is, and it would go with grieving, right, is these are the people that found her daughter. There is no way she's not thankful, right? She's got to be completely thankful in every way. I would not even doubt that for a second. But think about it. They do this wonderful thing. And no one would know where Kiely was if it weren't for them. But they released the video on her birthday weekend. It was literally on her birthday for Upchurch. This is what you guys are probably not like. Some people don't really take it all into consideration. Her mom, and I'm not speaking for the woman, I don't know her, but if she's not thanking them, she might be having a really difficult time with handling how do I deal with these earth angels who found my baby. But there's exploitation here. All right. And I mean, it is what it is, in my opinion. So she's probably so thankful and grateful and will be forever, right, indebted to the person or people who found her child. But in the same token, you take it all away when it gets released. And from what I understand, the family has stated it's, things were not released the proper way. People found out from social media, something went wrong. There was a disconnect, I believe, with communication. So whether someone didn't make a phone call quick enough and it wasn't AWP's fault or whatever, I just think that not everybody might have been on the same page. And this might explain a lot of why Kiely's mom maybe didn't thank them. I don't know, like, really was she supposed to thank everybody in that speech she did? Like, I feel like because someone went to the actual service and filmed it, they know what was said. But that service was for Kiely. They pretty much, yes, thanked everybody but AWP, which stands out to people. And then there was an uproar. But if that is a part of the mom's grieving process that she has to work through, people have to understand that these are human beings. Like, yeah, so I know that a lot of people are like, hey, they found her, but what about AWP? I guarantee AWP doesn't even want like any kind of spectacle around their name. They probably don't want people going into chat to, using that to argue about the mom. I doubt I think they're wonderful people. I just think that her family is probably having a difficult time with how to navigate through people who found her child or their family member, and they're incomplete. They have no control over the way this was handled or things were put out, I feel. And that's what I think maybe the lack of response about AWP might be, and maybe give us some time. Like, this is so fresh for them. This literally just happened. She hasn't been laid to rest. I feel to judge a mom like this and a family like this in their time of complete devastation, the worst thing that could ever possibly happen to a human being, is unfair. And some might, well, it's not, life's not fair, but no, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be around people who are a part of that kind of behavior. You know what I mean? It's just not right.
And
but
I totally see your end with AWP, and I totally respect it, actually, because it's not, I don't see you coming out as just, oh, this is AWP's fault, this, that, you, no, like, I believe you're putting out exactly how I personally feel the mom feels, you know, that she's
I think
very
that's what's
thankful.
going on. Like, I really do think that's probably what's going on, and so many other things. Who knows, right? But, and that's just an opinion. I'm a complete outsider. I live across the country from these people. You know what I mean? I'm just like thinking, as a mom, I'd be breaking people's camera lenses. I would be a lunatic, I think. But then you don't know what you'd be like in that situation. Yeah, I'd be like beating the shit out of people with their cameras. So I guess the world will really judge me. I'm just saying, like, we don't know how we might handle these types of things. And she's like, I really have so much respect for a mom that can say, this is the death of my child you're talking about. Who do you think you are? That's what I felt like when I heard her say that. It was so powerful. And I was like, you go, because that is her daughter. She has every right to say all these people talking about her child, and she can't say one thing. Do you know what I mean? It just feels so fucked.
Or if she cries or doesn't, if she thanks someone who doesn't, it means she dislikes them. That's just so crazy to judge all of that. I even believe AWP, it was Jared, I believe, who put it out and said that no matter if it was the mom who put the statement out, if she didn't, if she does, if she doesn't, she's grieving right now. So to put all the mud in between all of that, in between them two, you know, even on their end, they were just like, you know, everybody grieves differently and we'll take it one step at a time. And you are so right in the way that you broke that down and explained that. And I feel like that gets totally twisted.
I agree. I'm going to play devil's advocate here for a second.
All right, let's go.
I do. I absolutely agree with them. I agree with everything that you're saying about the mom, and it's her daughter, and it is her pain. I totally understand all of that. I struggle with that we're in. Okay, I struggle with a few things. One, I struggle with the fact that the dad's presentation seems to be that he may think something different than mom. And so if dad came out with a statement and said, somebody find out what happened to my daughter, what happens in the social media world where you have half that want to go with mom and half that want to go with dad? I think that would be quite crazy. And then my other problem with it is this is obviously her child. She lost her child. I did not lose mine. So I'm not in any way trying to take anything away from that. But for the community that we're in this true crime world, we dissect everything that happens with in a case, within the family, within, you know, why is a 16-year-old at the party? Who was okay with her going to the party? Did anybody know she was, you know, we ask ourselves all these questions. And I mean, this is what we've done since the Watts case. And so, like, they've asked, you know, to be left alone. And, you know, then you got, like, let's talk about just the circus around Summer Wells. If Candace came out right now and made a statement like, you know, that's my kid, don't talk about her, there's no way in the world we're going to not talk about her. You know, because we kind of think she's a little sus. Well, this is where I struggle.
A lot of sus. I think she's a lot of sus.
I think she's a lot of sus too, but I struggle because I don't think this mom has anything to do with anything, and that's not what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah, I know.
But we dissect so many pieces and so many parts to things in the expectation that this isn't. People on social media should not be taking things that are discussed from social media and sending it to these families. But unfortunately, it's what they do, and they shouldn't have to hear whether we think that Kiely was clothed or not clothed in a discussion. We're not calling them to talk to them about it. And I get it. This is why I said I go both sides. I'm on both sides here. I just, where do we stop? Well, so we say once the mom comes out and says, don't talk about my child, then we don't talk about the child. Do we base it off of how we feel about the mom? I don't know. This is like, so as a true crime community, where does that line stop?
Right. Because we're in this community. If we were anywhere else, this wouldn't even be probably this heavy of a subject. It would just be what it is. You don't do this. But right, do we do this with every case? How does this work? We honor the parents and the mother's wishes, but if dad comes out later, or
People
even
aren't
if
going to honor her wishes. They're not going to, and that's the bottom line. They're not going to, and it's going to probably, well, I've already actually unsubscribed from a couple people, but I mean, the way that people handle this is definitely I think maybe probably a learning experience but not even just if you like feel the way I do. If you think that a certain creator's like taking it too far and you see blatant disrespect and disregard for a grieving family, you got to make a decision on your own. It's up to the subscribers on YouTube. It's up to the people. I always say they hold so much power. They really do.
They really do. They really do.
When you see, and it goes back to see something, say something, right? Would you ever allow a parent in your community to be treated the way that they have been in some of these chats? No. Do you think half of these people would ever walk up to a grieving parent in public and say these things to their face? No, I don't. Behind the computer, people are just so much more desensitized and they don't care. And many people probably don't think, and I probably could speak for myself, like, I don't think my words have impact, right? But they do. So I don't know. Where do you go from here? People are going to go whichever way they want to really go. And it's going to come down to opinions and morals and values when it comes to the type of content that's being put out, I think.
So, a couple thoughts. I don't agree like completely 100% with either of you, but I do agree with parts.
That's the joy of this panel.
Both of you have made like good points, and some things like Tiffany, I don't really I don't lend towards like extortion, or what's the word, like that's not the word you used, I'm sorry, but but like when they released the video on her birthday, okay, so I didn't
it wasn't on her birthday. They released the video on Wednesday,
but so okay,
but it came out public the weekend of her birthday.
So like I don't think that they were doing that so Kiely brought them a lot of attention, and she's going to help them help so many other people. And like, I don't think they pay themselves first, and, they're doing good things. So if they're comfortable in their life, great for them, but I don't think that they're paying themselves and like going like to the casino, like they're making money from their videos.
Really at all for me. People, when I made the statement that I did like early on, it wasn't about money at all. It was just I don't know, the way it felt to me just felt really.
I agree that would be really hurtful. As her mom, I can totally see why that would be a struggle. And like her daughter, the most important person in her world, just left her world, and their help overshadowed the fact that she just lost her world. Like Kiely's name was kind of lost in the whole like totality of what was going on. But I do think that Kiely's story is going to help them help more people. So I don't take that from them that they release, that they do editing on their videos, and that they have the cameras. Like the families know that that's what's going to happen, and they want their person found. But then also, like what Teresa was saying about, like, well, we wish the dad, we could hear from dad. No, I don't. I don't wish I could hear from that dad at all. I really do not. Honestly, if I was going to be completely honest about it, I was uncomfortable talking about Kiely anymore, probably like a live and a half ago. Because what Tiffany just said about, like, it's all going to become opinions and speculation. I think that is our responsibility at that point as true crime. We bill ourselves as a true crime. I think it's our responsibility at the point when it becomes opinions and theories to place that one down and move on to a case that could use us, because they have found her now. We have to wait for autopsy. We don't need to hear from that dad. We do not need to bring AWP and say that they're going to help do some independent DNA testing and all this bullshit. Like, just stop.
You know what else? I don't want to see Kiely's mom and dad be at odds with one another. That would be horrible right now. Like, geez, think about really what that could. Kiely would never want that. The last thing a child would ever want is for in death for, their parents to fight each other, and God only knows what could be going on behind the scenes. I don't know what kind of relationship that they have, but it does seem like, I haven't seen him standing close to her or her standing real close to him or anything like that. So maybe I don't know.
I don't think that's any of my business, like that. Like
Nope, totally not at all. We don't know, right?
So I think like at this point, like they deserve the privacy. We have to wait. We're not going to be getting any independent DNA testing or chasing down anybody's cups. That's not our responsibility. It's not our job. Like we took the investigating and wondering and bringing it to attention as far as we could. And I mean, besides like updates and like things like that, like I'm at the edge of feeling comfortable talking about Kiely anymore because that's her baby. And when I'd be goddamned if something happened to my baby and then the public just thought they had the right to take my baby away from, like, my baby's.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too.
That's her story still. She owns it. Kiely wasn't 18. Everything about Kiely's death and her story belongs to her and the dad. And I just don't think it's our place. I think there's so many other cases out there that could still really benefit and use a community looking and poking and contacting law enforcement about what else they could do. Like, I think we're at the point where like it might be time to like responsibly let this one, to take more other ones, that matter.
Well, also, November 1st is coming soon. I mean, maybe even just give us some time, let our family have time to grieve and mourn and process. They won't even be halfway through that process in November. In fact, to add insult to injury, these results are going to be coming out right before the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas. These are times, I think, of the year that were most sacred to them. It seemed they were very much winter people. Christmas time people, like they were with their lodge and things like that. This is going to be such a huge change in their world without her. Like when her mom said that they're, getting used to a world without her, something of that nature.
Heartbreaking.
Oh my God. In November 1st, nothing is ever going to be good enough for any of these people, I feel. And if they do say it was an accident, it's going to be complete chaos for the holidays for this. Nope, they're not going to. And I think that, I just hope that the family will protect themselves from outside elements such as social media. Seems like they'd have no problem turning it off. I think they don't. They just don't strike me as the people that are all over social media. They seem like earthly, outdoors type people who probably don't really let the outside world influence them too much. I just don't want to see them
divide between it's like the channels that are gonna continue and make these videos forever and twist everything. Those, I mean, if you look into those are also the channels that put out a lot of weird stuff about Delphi and there's a whole it's like when they make Crama is a thing now, the covering the channels that cover the drama that cover whatever that's a whole other
yes
subsection of what's going on here is the ones that are going to do independent DNA tests and shit. That's not us.
Well, so that's my big question then, because I want to go back to AWP for a minute before I go on to my next part. So, and I said this a couple lives ago. What'd you say?
That you're going to say you bought a DNA test. I'm just kidding.
I did not. Well, I mean, I have my own DNA test done, but that's because I love genealogy, so that's just who I am. But no, so I said this on one of the lives. I could see Mom being really pissed off at AWP for coming out there and finding her, and basically for the reason that Christine said. It's like she had hope that she was out there and they were going to find her. And if you listen to her interviews prior to them finding her, it is a lot of just come home, just come back if you can hear me. And they came and found her, and the hope was smashed. And AWP does talk about like it's different because they're used to dealing with families that have accepted that the person that they're looking for is gone, and they just want to find them so they can put it to rest. This family, on the other hand, was not ready for that, and it happened anyway. And I had the opportunity to go on a panel where Doug was, and I got to ask him. I did ask, like, are you going to cover more live or more like open, like current, and cases like this? And I don't really think he gave me an answer because
Probably like, hell no.
I feel like they know that there was.
no.
Go ahead. I feel like
I
they
think
know
that
that this
they
was a
do. I have
much harder
crackly
thing.
noise.
No, you guys
Am I
just keep talking
crackling,
over each
Teresa?
other.
No, you're
Shit.
good.
I'm not crackling. All right, I didn't know because I'm not at my table. But he seems so. I really like him. I like all of them. I think they're wonderful people, and this I don't think was easy for anybody. And I hope at the end, in the end, when maybe sometime family
You're cutting out
and
a little bit.
AWP. Oh, I am okay. I'm gonna go on mute.
No, you're fine. So I'll go back to
I was just saying it would be nice to see them come together at some point down the road, maybe in unity, like make everything okay with one another. That would be nice to see,
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, because for me, like as a mom, I would think like I'm really pissed that they went and found her, but then and especially if I don't, because I've watched them for a long time, so I'm more familiar with kind of how they do things, and obviously this mom would not be. So I think that as things do settle, I could see in myself, like even though I know how they do things, I would be pissed, and then I could see myself going, my daughter didn't die in vain. Like her story, I can't tell you how many people just across the internet, much less in real life, have talked about what happens if you are submerged underwater, whether this was an accident or foul play.
Straight
How many more people are trying to understand what could happen, how fast it could happen, and how to protect themselves. And then you have the fact that they are able to go and look for other people. So, and this is why I say this, because God forbid something happened to one of my children or somebody that I love, and I needed somebody to look for them because I had cops that weren't looking for them or not finding them.
Of course.
I would want them to come. And Kiely's story would be, and I know this sounds terrible, but it's like the amount of money that they make from a Kiely story would actually enable these people to come later on and possibly help my loved one. And I think there's a big picture and then there's the small picture. And I know mom right now, like Christine and you both said, this is right now, like this is what's happening in their life right now. And I will never take it away from them. This is their story, their grief. But long term, I think that her story is extremely important. And it's not about,
I do too.
It's not just about like, so is it a seatbelt? Is it not a seatbelt? It's not just about that, but it is part of her story, and it's part of this. And and there's a lot of chaos. People, get really upset if you talk about like Ryan Upchurch. They get really upset. Some are total pro AWP, total anti AWP. Like there's all this. I don't want to say chaos, but there's a little bit of chaos around the whole thing. But all of that brings more people to looking at the story, and if it saves people in the long run because they're educated about what happened, that's the big picture to me. And so I struggle with the not talking about it simply because, one, I think about it a lot. I'm thinking about all the different things and who the players were and why didn't these kids, there's 300 of these people there and nobody freaking says anything. And you got her quote unquote best buddy, who I never want to be friends with my child, because I think she's a terrible friend. No matter what happened afterwards, she's still a terrible friend in my opinion. And I think of all these things and I'm like, if we don't talk about it, then nobody knows those things. So it's like, yes, I get it's like, this is where I'm so torn. So like 2 weeks ago, we were on the page. We were not going to talk about Kiely anymore. We were going to move on and, kind of wait for things to start to settle. But then they find all this stuff. And it brings you back to all these people who are talking about this police corruption and all the crap that's going on, and the cops didn't find her, and they gave the excuses of, well, you know, the water was deeper, it was murky, it was this, it was that, and fine, totally, I understand all that. But well, now why aren't they taking it more seriously? Why didn't they go back in there? Why did they kick? So here, I'm going to go back to AWP for a second, because there's a story where AWP goes and helps a mom who has been searching for her kid and says, my kid is right there in the water. My kid is right there in the water. I know exactly where he is. And the cops came out and they basically tried to tell the mom, nope, you're wrong. It's not it. It's not it. Like, whatever. And Jared's like almost like in a fight with this guy, this sheriff or whatever he was, this officer, because the guy won't take him seriously. They put that in the video to show the story. So there's something more to the fact that AWP does not put into this video what happened when they were removed. Because every video that they've been asked to leave and every video that they've been asked to stay, that is in their documentary. And this one is not.
Yes, Tim. This is true. They did not. And I know the one you're talking about with the mom who insisted that where her son was.
So there's all these things, I can't stop thinking about them. So it's like, I go live because I want to talk about true crime and I want to hang out with the people and just kind of chill and whatnot. I'm not trying to make $1 bazillion off of YouTube, but if this is what I'm thinking about and this is what I'm looking at when I'm online, I don't. It's what I end up talking about, and then people get really pissed because then they're like, "You want all this money?" And it's like, I don't know. There's no money here. I don't know what you're talking about. There's not all this money. This is just this is what's on my brain.
Yeah, obviously.
And then if I do, am I disrespecting mom? Because I don't want to do that either.
That's why
this is why I get all worked up.
I mean, I think that we're having this conversation right now. If we were to continue to have like a weekly live about Kiely, it would be disrespectful to her mom.
But I'm telling you right now, if a whole bunch of crap comes out this next week and there's a whole bunch more stuff found, or there's new articles and pressers and all this contradictory stuff, it's where I'm gonna go. But if it settles and there isn't all of that, then I can see like, okay, I have the ability, you know, people are just on repeat, because that's what happens. People will get on repeat. They'll start saying the same things over and over again, and it'll fade away, you know, on its own. But if there's a whole bunch of new stuff happening, I can't get my brain to not want to talk about it.
I love things.
I don't know. This case has really messed me up. Like, I went looking for a Watts Live last night just to go somewhere relaxing. I was talking about Watts tonight or something else.
It falls back to us being a part of this true crime community, and what is respectful. Emergency me is 100% right. But as a content creator, where does our responsibility lie?
Right.
Do we go back to our own ethics, morals, all that good stuff? Or are we in this community and is it part of the discussion? And to be perfectly honest, I don't have the correct answer on that, even for myself right now. I just, after watching the mom's statement, and I just feel like now she told us what she wants from us.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, we say we don't agree, or like, you know, we obviously don't agree. Like, you know, I feel like I'm over this one. Teresa feels like she could get reinterested and re-involved again. But in the like totality of the big picture of the situation, like, we are on the same page. Like, you know, like Teresa and mine and Michelle's views of these kind of big topics are in line with, you know, common sense and more err towards the side of, like, you know, caution and good judgment and respect. Like, we're not all over the place, you know. Like, we cover, even if we continue covering Kiely Rodni, it would be with a certain level of, you know, what's the word, like, respect, you know. Like,
I agree. Tiff, are you still here? Did we lose you? She was cutting in and out, so I just want to make sure she's not actually gone.
No, I'm here. I'm totally listening to everything you're saying. And Christine, you know that, like, I have full faith in Teresa, right? am Michelle.
Got you.
For real. Like, I hope you
Oh,
know
I
that.
know, I
Does
know
she
that.
know this?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Oh no, I think she does.
Okay.
We don't just
And I'm
let
like, oh shit.
anybody
You know
up
that
on
like
this
oh,
panel.
it's everything's good. Okay.
Tiffany's talking about every creator. Christine's talking about us over here.
Oh, no.
I'm like, hold on a minute. I gotta make sure because because
I have a little bit of a lag, but I
heard.
heard Christine's in. I'm like, wait, hold on. All right, we're here. I got it.
And I mean, our panel guests and our friends, like we might just be having this conversation like privately if we weren't on YouTube letting y'all listen to our conversation right now. Like we would still be having this conversation.
Yes, that's
You
very
know, like
true.
you guys are just listening to us, and we are aware of that, and we give it the the amount of like consideration. But we're still us, and we are still friends, and just because of that, like we do obviously think a lot alike in the long run.
When you said that you would still give this case the respect and all, I know you would, like that's without a doubt. I've not ever seen anything come out of Teresa that's nefarious, or even in the least bit. Like I've really grown to just really love listening to you guys, and I wish that everybody knew where to find her also, because I'm always like, hey, she's over here, like she's like, oh, you don't need to do that, and I'm like, no, I really do, because no one knows where you went. Like some people
I just
People are
vanished.
still finding us, like finding
Yeah.
us. Sorry, you.
Yeah.
Tiffany's been the best amount of support since day one. There's not anything that, and I can speak for this. I cannot talk to Tiffany about, and she gives me the rawest, realest answers that I need. She keeps it real all the time. And I love her so much because of her passion for these children.
I was just going to say that, Michelle. That's exactly it. Regardless whether I always
fun.
agree or disagree,
Yeah,
I know that in the purest of heart of hearts of hearts of all things, that it's out of goodness, and it's out of respect, and it's out of kindness, and I don't have to agree because I know that her heart is trying to make the difference. And that to me is, I guess, why it doesn't matter whether I agree or disagree, because I know we're looking for the same thing. Like Christine said, in the end,
she's doing just that. Look, I would have never found Lena. I would have never started to advocate for Lena. I came across Lena off of Tiffany's channel then on summer. So, yeah, like.
Would you guys be willing to share a missing poster while we're live? I don't want to like intrude on your live stream though.
Oh, yeah.
If I send it to you,
Tiffany.
oh my god, right?
Here she goes
Just
again.
send it to tape.
Hold on. Well, I'm actually like I want to bring attention to this like really quick, and I was gonna say something in the beginning. I'm like, no, I don't want to like come in like totally with a here, show this or whatever. But Teresa, this if you don't need to show it, yeah, you don't need to show it right this second either. Like you can wait till the end or whatever. But while you have people watching, this teenage boy actually is not been located in 24 hours. So I figured if I send it to Teresa, she could share it, because I want to try to get the word out there for him. He's older, so
let me see.
I think he's 17 years old, just like Kiely.
How do you say his name? Mackay?
I think it's Mackay William Nave. If I said it wrong, I don't know. But I'm going to make a video after. I'm going to drop a video for him. Hopefully they find him. He's beautiful.
Oh, yeah. He was just in that group before we came on. I saw him.
Oh, did you? Good. So the word is spreading.
Oh, he is a good-looking kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't think that like you can be friends with somebody without like ever having like disagreed and then like overcome it. Like truly, because like we do support each other like 100%. But like we've gotten in arguments. Like our personal chats have blown up before with arguments.
You have to.
That's because Christine tries to solve the case 15 times, and I'm like, which one is it?
You know what, Teresa? All I want is a wow, okay? With an exclamation point once in a while.
Christine wants some emotion, Teresa. She wants a feeling.
Yeah. Every time I solve it should be like
every time she solves it, I have to do a happy dance.
Oh, and you were
asking questions. She always wants to know where I found this or that, and I'm just like, listen, just look.
I do. I ask a lot of questions because I'm like, well, what about this or what about that? She's like, no, just say good job.
Teresa's the friggin' quiz master. Like, you could send her a bunch of Erickson and she'll have
Okay,
4
she'll
questions
never
right off the
believe
bat.
you.
Mhm.
She's not like that with just me. She never believes anybody.
No, I just don't. I don't believe stuff without like a lot of.
Mhm.
I need a lot of research on my own end to. So like, tell me how you got there. It's
Yep.
basically like it's research. Like if you were like doing something in a lab, like you have to be able to say, "This is how I got to the information I have." Give me
That
the
is
beginning
exactly
so
how
I
it
can
is.
see if I can get
Oh,
to the
you
same
mean with
information
like
that you
the
can.
original source? Like you
Mhm.
always
I want to know how you got
Yeah,
there.
me too.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. People bring stuff to me all the time. I'm like, where exactly did you get this? So like, I need the actual photo from the original source because so many people too will take screenshots of stuff and they'll zoom in and they'll be like, oh, look at this. It's not even the photo you think it is.
Yeah.
You've got to know where it comes from because there's just so much crap out there. I'm really big on that too.
Man, I really want to do a live I was thinking about this earlier. Like, I want to do a live, and I want it to be about this situation. I want it to be
About how many
like,
times you solve cases?
let's take some like questionable photos, and I'll name some right off the top of my head. The Delphi on the bridge, the helicopter, Summer in the back seat, NK's ponytail.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
let's
The
just
makeup kit.
and I will walk you through the footage from under the water at the back of the car of Kiely. Like, I will walk everybody through step by step, like what it is that they're actually seeing, or what this
Right? Oh my
actor
God,
is
that's so needed.
recording, what this color, like what the shake and the raw camera filter. Like, I want to just go through and debunk. Like, let's just have 10 photos and let's just talk about what's actually happening in the photo.
So
I love
can
you
I,
both do it. I'm sorry.
there's
Tiff.
someone in the chat who has a really good, I actually asked somebody. So I had like a whole list of questions that I asked someone in my real life who is trained in search and rescue, who's been to incidents with water. All right. I asked this person, and it's just, this is, my word is nothing. It's just a random person that I asked, right? Who knows the ins and outs more so of like how these things run. They said that it's so common to find objects from inside the vehicle. Now think they flipped her car underwater also, right? I don't know why they didn't have any kind of sifters. I don't know why they didn't I don't know why they didn't do the things that we all are at. I have those same questions too. It's very upsetting. And even if they don't need it, the service of bringing it to the family, that's lacking for sure. How do you miss these things, right? Yeah, totally reasonable question to ask. It's not normal. It's not right, in my opinion. But I asked somebody who knows, and they said it's so common for objects to end up yards from the area that it actually happened, right? And then take into account this is underwater. I don't know. But flipping the car underwater, they say, was for a reason. I think, I don't really want to get into it, but I guess it was for a reason. I don't know. But I don't agree with flipping a car underwater. It should have been taken out exactly the way. But think about what would have happened when they lifted it. Why didn't they have a tarp underneath to catch things with like an actual net? Where was that? I've seen this before. Where was all of that equipment? Where was all of that? What was lacking there and why? Because those things should have been able to be contained when they removed the car, but maybe because she was inside the vehicle, they wanted to pull it out slowly like they did. I don't know, right? There's probably an explanation for all of these things. Maybe I don't know, or we don't know, but
that was the one thing Doug said, that if he could go back and change anything in this, like on their end, to where like law enforcement typically will have them pull it out as well once they've recovered. He said that he just wished that maybe they would have still allowed them to pull the car out as well.
Really, yeah.
When they all got on the scene, apparently, I guess FBI kicked everybody off the scene, PICs and all. So I guess they wanted to take over. And I did see the footage where their divers went in, but the extraction of the car didn't go down the way personally it should
Why
have.
would they not be trained in that field, though? I just don't get that. They should know about.
I agree.
Has anybody ever told you, like, your voice, like there's like when you're talking, like you are like so passionate about every single sentence that you're saying, like you should be like the person like on commercials and stuff.
No, I get a lot of shit actually.
If you're eating these chips, you are going to feel difference. Like, but I mean, it's awesome. Like, it's just like so, like the way you talk, so like I am serious.
Not all the time.
And I take you. I'm like, okay, yes.
She has that like sexy voice too. I'm not kidding. There are times I tell her this all the time. I'm like, I could just be cleaning and put Tiffany on and just let her.
There's something about like the way you like emphasize like certain things. You're like, and this is exactly what. And I'm like, okay, yes.
Oh my God. Don't make me self-conscious. Thank you for calling
out, and she's fine. She's great.
Okay, so you guys in chat, make sure you guys are ready to listen to Tiffany Marie's live or video that she puts up after this about Makai William Nave. Looks like he is about 150 pounds, 6'1", biracial, black hair, brown eyes. He was last seen at a party on Agency Road in Minnesota between 12 and 1 a.m. His phone was last pinged here, and he was last seen wearing a black sweatshirt, jeans, and a white beat up Air Force Ones. So September 10th. That's yesterday. So he's been missing for about 24 hours now. So I'm assuming the party probably was from the 9th into the 10th, from like Friday night into. That's a Hawaiian name. Am I saying it wrong? If I'm saying it wrong, I really apologize. I don't know how to say it. Makai William Nave.
I think you did. I think you said it right.
Okay. He would have just turned 20 in July. Mm-hmm. His birthday's 7/26/02.
I have some videos of him, so he'll be easier to spot, hopefully.
Okay, good.
Don't be calling no tips about those fresh Air Force Ones, though.
I'm saying it perfect. Okay, good.
Listen, that was always crazy about like sneakers. I was always like, nope.
Yeah, is Queen still in here?
I don't know.
I'll send this to her too.
Teresa, did you catch that conversation, big chat today about, she was saying about her friend's daughter or something that was missing?
Yeah, but they found her. That was yesterday, right?
Good.
Yeah.
But she was asking if anybody knew anybody in Seattle, like had a contact or something. And I was all, no, but I have a friend that has a YouTube channel. I think that like she did, and I was like, it's Teresa. Teresa's the friend.
It's me. It's me. You know her too. Okay. Oh, it's not Makai. It's not Makai. Okay. How do you say it? Can you spell it so that I can say it like how? If you go to the crime scene on land, they don't leave stuff laying. All right. So this was my point. A crime scene does not have stuff left behind. It should not have stuff left behind. I don't know why they would not have made sure that was done and gone through and they got everything out. What if? And this is a what if, but still what if? And if it was my kid, this is what I would be pissed. There's, they found this beanie, they find the laptop, they find the hairbrush, they find the cans, they find all kinds of stuff. What if there is some form of DNA or something on that leads in a totally different direction, but they rule it an accident because they don't have that info?
I absolutely agree with you.
It's frustrating. So mom says we've got this, and I'm like, do you?
So
not you, mom, but do you? I know I'm not an investigator, and we're not gonna. What is the saying there now, Christine? We're not gonna put the cherry on the camel's back.
Break the cherry's back.
Cherry on the camel's back.
The cherry.
Sounds like something I would say. I get things mixed up all the time. Did I really just say that?
Yeah, you knew what I was talking about, Teresa. Okay, move on.
No, it's perfect. I love it. I'm going to use it all the time. I'm never going to let it go. And then the civilians ended up touching it, and I know the guy thought he was doing the right thing, and he's obviously he didn't. And maybe next time it would be better. But there's just so many little things.
You know what I think? I think that probably law enforcement might know some things that we don't know.
Yeah, you think I would think so.
So,
well, that was my thinking. Maybe people don't know how to read a room. Like, do you know what I mean when I say that? So the mom says, "We've got this." Doesn't that like speak to anybody? Like maybe they're trying to handle this the best way that they can, and maybe people shouldn't be so hard to press. Like, I don't know.
Hey, CBK.
But I think it's tough though, because if law enforcement was okay, so this is going to sound bad, or I mean, maybe it won't sound bad. I don't know. Maybe you guys will agree. So Gabby Petito, they put almost everything out. They were constantly doing press conferences and whatnot, and everybody kind of knew what was happening. And there was still mistakes made in certain law enforcement agencies that they got, raked over the coals about the DV video. But that was, not where she was found, but it's still just law enforcement in general.
I was about that the other day, and I thought that they did such a wonderful job until I found out what they had already known before they showed up. I was livid because I remember I said they were so good with her, they were so like kind and understanding and exactly what you would want. Then I found out about what was actually called in, and I lost my shit because I was so angry. Like they knew. Right. Somebody said he hit her. They knew that. And then it all flashed back before my eyes, and I got so mad. And I was mad at myself too, because I was like praising the cops in Moab, right? I was
right.
So mad.
Were we already here last year for Gabby Petito?
I wasn't. We weren't here. No, we were over there.
So, I feel like I was on 400 lives about that too, but I don't even actually.
Well, because I think when these cases get like this, we're there's a lot going on around it because you're trying to learn all the different details. But so my point to that is, as soon as there was like the resolution of what happened with her, I do believe it started to somewhat die down. And after there was the resolution with Brian, I think it, there was just a little bit, and now it's pretty much, over a year later now, and it's done, right? And nobody's going back and like questioning, or harping on it or digging through it and trying to find all these things anymore. So somebody said in chat, like, are they going to wait it out and try to let it die down? Wolfslayer said this, and then try to rule it an accident, because what happens in this community is the sooner the better with the information if they want the social media, to die down. And then you're going to have the argument, well, law enforcement doesn't give two shits about your true crime community, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? They're going to do what they're going to do. So, but I'm just saying, when people don't want speculation, I think that pushing it out actually makes it worse, because now you're giving way more time for people to come up with their own answer. So we'll talk about Watts for just a second, and I do not want to stay on that topic whatsoever. But that it is still, like Christine said, she went over there for a break from this stuff. People, because they will not give the information, people 4 years later still want to know what the heck happened, and they don't believe the narrative that they were fed. And I don't know when law enforcement or families or whatnot are they want everybody to stop talking, but the lack of information makes people talk, because we will come up with our own answers. I was only able to move past Watts once I felt in my own self that I knew enough to be able to piece together how I believed everything happened. And I know that there's people who disagree with how I feel about what happened, and I'm good. I don't care. I like those people still anyway, but people won't let it go if there's no answers. Peyton Houston, that's a great example. That guy's still waiting for his freaking hearing just on what abuse of a corpse. And I still think there's way more to that, Wolfslayer, but that's a whole nother live, man. So I don't know. I think that people are like, okay, let it go until there's more information. My problem is people aren't going to let it go without more information. When it's done, there's gonna and if there's not enough answers on what actually happened, if they just try to come out and say this was an accident and you guys, that's it, and that's
It's
all they
going to be
release,
outrage. It's going to be
there's
complete
going to be
outrage.
absolute outrage. They're gonna need to give more details. And the problem I have is they want the family to be able to be at peace. I want the family to be able to be at peace, but
They
you
deserve that. They really do.
They do deserve that. But then you go to who's the first people that families reach out to when they need help finding the people. So then all of us get so damn invested in what happens with these young women and men. We want to know the outcome.
Yeah.
I agree, Kay.
This has definitely changed the way that I view. I don't know what it was about Kiely's case that it wasn't like any other case for me. I really took it hard, like super hard. It's definitely changed a lot in the way I view the true crime channels. Like I felt like I watched everything around me just kind of go by, and I was so disappointed over and over and over. And it was like piling on, and I can't even help that I felt that way. But I don't know. It's hard. It's really hard. You want answers, but when a mom comes out and says, please, we're really we're suffering. We have a community of teenagers that are suffering. That's a really motherly thing to say. So if she can't mother Kiely, she's going to want to mother those kids, right? She's going to want to get as close to the people who were last with Kiely. That's all she's got left of Kiely are the people who were last with. She wasn't last to be with Kiely either. So I guess if you're just on the wavelength that you want to cover crime and everything, I totally support that, because not everyone's going to see it the way I do, right? But just try to always keep, if I could give advice, I guess I would, if I would want respect as a family member, always keep her family in mind. Always try to refer to her very delicately, very gently, because there are family members listening and there are people being affected. And sometimes, and I'm guilty of it. But that's why I say it's been very self-reflective as well, watching a lot of this.
For sure.
I was in Zab Girls. I watched her live 2 days ago or something, really briefly. And I don't know how people sit in there and do it though, honestly, because so all of you guys in chat, we see you, whether we respond directly to you in a minute or if you ask us a question and we get to it, whatever, we see these comments. I went to Zab Girls channel and I said some things and nobody even knew I was there. Nobody even noticed me at all. So I was like, I'm out.
Okay, I'm here.
Well, that's kind of what happens when the panels become 4,000 to 7,000 people in the chat. When I was doing those Summer Wells interviews, I have no idea who was in those chats. It's a nightmare to try to be in a chat when it has so many people and you have no idea. There's no way to control it. Tiff, that you just can't. You can't see who's saying what or who's talking about what, and then if you don't have enough wrenches, then the chat kind of overpowers you.
Yeah, it was total, and my comment was gone in seconds, and I was just like, I'm Teresa's friend. It's me.
But even when I go on her panel, I try to pay attention to her chat for her, and it's hard. It's hard. I don't know. I don't know if I. People are always like, you want your channel to grow, and it's like, yeah, of course you want the channel to grow because you want to talk to more people and you want to spread more awareness and you want more people to see it. But then there's part of you that's like, no, I like being able to talk to the people in chat and see what they're saying. And
me too. I'm the same way.
You gotta kind of go in with
Patreon. Sorry, I did not ever pay to be in a Patreon where I can never speak at directly to the creator, and it's just such big giant channels. I'm not.
I feel like Zabs, you got to be a little strong to go in there, especially up on panel. They're kind of zero blocking policy, so You got to go in there with your dukes up.
Oh, so I want to be clear. Like, I think Tiffany is sweet as pie. I really do. I do.
Not all
like,
the time.
Like I just think she's just.
Which Tiffany? Which Tiffany?
Zav girl.
Oh, Zav girl Tiffany. Okay.
Yeah, I think she's
not this one. This one.
Oh, I was gonna say, don't think I'm sweet because I'm not always.
I totally do.
Teresa's like,
I think you're sweet pie too, just in a totally different way.
That was hilarious.
So see, that's the thing is like I adore Zav for some, and she does. She has like a no block policy, and so like the chat can just kind of becomes like woo,
kick your ass in there.
I've heard this Tiffany on our panel be mad at somebody before and like
yell at them very
had
nicely.
like a long time picking up their intestines on their way back home.
Amazing.
Like she like strewed them out, and I was like, okay. Yes.
I like it though because she doesn't take their bullshit, you know. And some of these guys come back though, and I won't say one guy's particular name, but they've had their bouts of issues during Summer Wells, and the guy still comes to her chat, and she's still kind, even though she's told him off. I can't even tell you how many times, and her chat's told him off.
I think maybe she was telling off a guy right then too.
I always let people up. Like I don't.
That is
say you'll drop the link. You'll be like, take the link or get the fuck out.
Yeah, like literally threw his guts all over the floor.
Listen, you can't like some of these people. I tell you, I really don't even know where they come from.
Well, like I said, they're ruthless. Ruthless.
They are ruthless. They really are. And then I'll be, but it sucks because like I don't want to be angry, right? When I go live, but sometimes I'm just so fired up.
I will say this.
Listen, this is going to be one of those lives. If you don't like it, leave now.
Yeah. I'll put the TM up. Like I'll put up a TM for live so you know it's not a crime. Like I'm gonna talk some smack, but
she does. I gotta go. She's gonna need to rent because I rent on her channel. So I'm like, all right, this shit going down. And then she's like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. And I'm like, it's because normally I get your replays like at night, like when I'm chilling. But like I know I gotta be there for the shit when it's gonna pop off because I'm like, shit, these people are gonna go crazy.
They have their own like brand of like gangsters and like cornbreads. And like, I'm just like, oh my God, this is too much. I'm scared in California. I cannot.
Tiffany has the best community over there. When, let's say there's a little bit of a tiff in her chat. She, for the most part, if she has to catch it, if one of her mods don't, the chat itself they unite literally. Like for Summer, for Tiffany, for whatever the discussion is. Like,
but I remember one of the first times after she'd given me a wrench, I think I like deleted a comment. But she like grabbed it and like put it up on StreamYard, and she was like, "Who deleted that comment?
Yeah,
don't delete his comments." And I was like, "He was being an asshole. He needed to be deleted." But she was
asked any of my
mods, like, "All right, you got this."
They all have.
I don't know what you guys tell our mods, but I tell them if somebody smells like an asshole when they come into this chat, go ahead and just block them.
I've been getting more and more irritated though lately, and like the last live, I was like, "Block them all, block them all." Just get them out. So I guess very rarely block. I don't like to block. I like to let everybody have free speech. I try, but you know what's crazy though? When you do that, they wait. These people wait till after you're done with your live, and it's like they all rush to the comment section, right? But they won't come there when you have the StreamYard link in there for the whole 7 hours. You know, it's right there. They can say anything they want right to your face. They all want to wait. So strange.
Of course they do. They want to wait till it's over. So then then it's all just they can type whatever they want to type, and then you know, and they don't have to hear your response because you're just going to either type it back or you're going to ignore it. But yeah, so for me, I'm good with like people's opinions. I could care less if somebody agrees with me or disagrees with me. Just don't be a dick about it. That's really all I care about. Like just politely tell me you don't agree with me. I'm not going to be a jerk to you in your chat if I disagree with you. I'm just going to say, well, I kind of see it this way or I see it that way. So I'm like, I don't care. You can block them, time them out, whatever the hell you got to do.
You do great.
I just don't want. I don't like people being freaking mean to each other all the time.
It's not
like why does everybody hate each other so much? Like we don't know each other. Like I don't know. I just don't know. I don't understand where people gain so much hate from. that they feel like it's necessary to go on social media and go into somebody else's live or comment section and just berate the shit out of people. Like, who the hell do you think you are? Yeah. No.
And use the snake emoji in our chat. You're blocked immediately.
And don't put
I don't
that
care
in
if we're
there.
talking about snakes.
Really? Yeah, I don't like snakes.
Or when it's a child that we're discussing, or another creator's discussing or covering, and trying to get awareness out there, and they come in with their stupidness. It's like, save that for a different time. Save that.
I mean, but literally, like, all we ever have to do is say, "Hey guys, can we just not talk about other people?" And then they don't.
Well, if you tried to please every creator that you were friends with, you would never be friends with anybody, because everybody hates everybody, and then everybody likes everybody when you don't like them, and then they like each other again when you don't like them, and then you can't do that. You can't judge people based on the relationships and the people that they've gotten to know, and
Not at all.
what they have with them. You just can't. It's impossible, because, and I try to tell people this all the time, like, online we're one dimensional. You see one side of our whole being, like you see my true crime side and you see how my brain works when it comes to this, but you have no idea what kind of mom I am, really. You don't see me go be a mom, you know what I mean? So you see one side of my whole life. You don't know how I am to my parents. You don't know what kind of sister I am. You don't know what kind of friend I am in to the neighbors next door. You know what I mean?
We're great
We're very
moms.
one dimensional, and people want to judge you on this one thing, but as human beings, people are very layered. You have different feelings, and today I may feel this way, and tomorrow I might feel that way. And so everybody
What
just
Wolf
gets.
Slayer said. Yesterday, I thought this was foul play. Today, I think it's an accident. Is that okay here? Oh yeah, carry on solving, Wolf Slayer. We like
Yeah,
to
yes.
solve.
That's exactly how I
Christine
feel.
will solve it 15 times.
Yeah, carry on.
Well,
On the
I'm not
same
sold
page.
either way either, and I think the only difference would be, and I don't even know if we would be discussing the cases in such depth if there was such a straightforward answer. If it's I kind of like how I feel about maybe Gabby Petito. I don't think does anybody like actually question whether Brian actually killed her? I think we all kind of agree. So there's not really much room for discussion, because it's like, yeah, okay, you killed her. Okay, great. Now you go have a nice rest of your weekend. You see what I mean? Like, that doesn't, and that's why when people are like, so you're adamant that it's foul play. And I'm like, I'm not adamant that it's foul play. I actually, up until recently, was more adamant that it was an accident. But if I come on here and I'm like, yep, it was an accident. Okay, great. Good talking to you. Thanks. Have a good day. You know what I mean?
What?
Like,
I really loved Gabby Petito's dad, like during those press conferences, and they'd be like, you know what? I really don't care about the rest of this. This is my daughter. She's missing.
Yep.
Call the police. Like, I don't care about these theatrics. This is what we're talking about. I dug it. I love it.
I like her family.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that her family was she was from a divorced family, and that family did not give two shits about whatever was wrong between the two of them. They were in it, and they were in it together, and they still are as they go through like the lawsuits and stuff. I'm like, that is amazing.
They're even more united now than before. Like during this whole trial and whatnot with the laundries, they have become more united, and it's beautiful to watch.
Yeah, they must have like fun like holidays and like vacations and stuff. Like that's like the kind of like if your parents are gonna divorce, like you wish you would end up with something like that, you know?
Okay. So we got to talk about the PI. We got to talk about the PI. I have to talk about it. So, have you guys watched the PI?
Yeah, I have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I know he went on 2 different panels yesterday. Did you watch both?
I only watched one.
Yeah.
Okay. So what were your thoughts on what he had to say?
Not
Jim Terry, the PI that's involved with Kiely's case, not Jim Terry PI. That's Dylan case.
Yeah, so it would be asking Bessie. I happen to really like him. I think he's a decent guy. He seems like a decent guy to me. I know that's for some reason an unpopular opinion.
No, I agree.
Yeah, I think he's a good dude.
Okay, so I don't know why everybody thinks that they hate him or not hate him or whatever, but I think that everybody used him and for his information and stuff, when it worked for their storyline or their theory, and then the second I don't even know what the big uproar was, but the second they didn't like something that he had some opinion, they turned on him, and it's okay. There's got to be some middle ground here.
Well, yeah. he didn't go with. I don't. I think it's the same kind of situation we were talking about earlier. I think that maybe SF is a little bit more humble.
But
He's
he uses
humble.
private info for content,
Yeah,
but he
I
like
don't have
goes
a
out there and
problem with
does
this guy.
he does the
It-
legwork though. Like he's
Yeah.
like really out
Right.
there.
And then people are like, why is he
Right.
talking about this? You're prying it out of these people. You are prying it out of them. What do you mean? Why is he talking about it? These people in the chats are like, why is he saying this? Why is he saying that? I mean, you would have thought that that guy showed, you know, Kiely's car or something, like something traumatic. I'm very much against that. So, like, why are all these people coming down on people who have said things, but then the true action, the root, and that's where my heart is torn with the AWP. That is a travesty. Really, it's
I think that you got to look at SF Investigates like history, because like he was out there droning for Jalissa, and like he it's not just like this case. He's not like new to the scene, you know. Like he goes out there and he does like legwork and work.
Yeah,
and, like,
I've heard he's a really good guy. Like this guy is actually a really good person, is what I've heard.
But I'm sure I'm sure, and I don't take away from that. He probably pissed somebody off and they feel really angry. So like I don't take that away, but it's like this whole Kiely thing is just so polarizing. Like everybody just takes a big breath and talk about NK for a little bit. Calm down.
With Steve, I think that's what happened when I initially started watching him with this. He was bringing a lot, you know, of information, and he was being very respectful about it. And I think, like Christine said, he's very much boots on the ground with these cases, and he does take on quite a few that I think when AWP got so much attention and recognition from the Kiely case, and because he had gotten so close to Dad and Grandpa, and he stayed with Grandpa as they were doing everything, and you know, he got very emotionally attached to this case. So I think when all of that happened, and then maybe AWP and his lines got crossed somewhere, I think that a lot of people started to give him a lot of shit, and then he responded back trying to defend himself, and then try to even fix some things that he felt it didn't maybe fall under what he felt was true. So he just
I know where that disconnect happened, and I think it was when the human decency of, how would you explain? So like in the last I don't know if anybody see, and even I can't even really use working in a hospital or a medical setting, because
I know exactly what you're trying to say. It's hard to word.
I've seen some nurses have no emotion whatsoever. I'm like, why do they even work in this profession? They don't need to be in any kind of medical facility. Like, how did they even end up here? So a lot of people probably would disagree with me, even if I use that as an example. But when you take humanity out of a situation like this, and you say, okay, this is going to be for viewing experience, that's the disconnect. And people don't want to hear that. Like, they think they're entitled to see everything and know everything, and we're not. So, like, I think that's where the disconnect comes with some people, is right there.
Yeah, he was very, because he got so close to Dad and Grandpa, and then, you know, he couldn't help, because he does his thing on Twitter, that he would see certain things. I mean, that's what I was catching on that end, like, you know, just following that. But it just seemed like there was a lot of things he just wanted to correct, that maybe he didn't want that false narrative to really get out there. And then he is very involved in these cases. He does want to help. I feel his intentions are, you know, very good. There were a few times I didn't know where he was going with things, but I feel like in the end, especially with the last thing that he had put out, was very it just truly showed where his heart really is. He put out something very nice about AWP. He put out something that kind of corresponded with the family and how he felt initially in the beginning too. So he, you know, it was genuine to me. So I think Steve's He's a good guy. He's got good intentions. He wants to help in these cases, no doubt.
So that's my opinion, and I think I don't remember who set it up in chat, but it was like I go with that. Both sides are trying to do what they think is right, and in their own minds, even though the other side is doing it differently. So then there creates this, fight. But I do believe both parties actually want the same thing in the long run, and I think that the only thing I would say is I wish that SF wouldn't get he would just stick to the facts of the situation versus, I shouldn't say facts, that's not how I want to say it, but the facts of the case versus the facts of social media, because it ties back into what I was talking about at the beginning, is that we end up fighting with each other over differences of opinions or different ways of doing things when we actually all want the same thing in the end. And I think that if they had actually united, there would have been a better thing. But there was a couple things that happened with like the phone calls to the family, the as of yesterday, the communication that took place out on the beach. Some of that stuff, I don't know if it needed to get to social media. I think that it could have been handled a little bit differently. I think that once again that the family has the issues with that the video was taken out, and I think it was Wolf Slayer who said up top that would you want your child being filmed? Well,
Hell no.
absolutely not. I don't want my child being filmed. I don't want my child to be in that situation to begin with. And this is where I said like there's small picture and there's big picture, and knowing the circumstances of how many people are actually still missing and that are underwater, knowing that was going to actually help. I probably would eventually get to the point where I would have been like, yes, I see the big picture, but right now in the moment, I don't think that's going to be possible. So I don't know if there's any. I don't know if either of them are right or wrong. I wish that he wouldn't go at people. Like that's one thing. AWP's not going at anybody, and he's over there getting real pissed off at people, and he needs to learn that he's not going to win any battles. And and he's actually working on a case with another family that Michelle's been talking with, and so it's a struggle because like don't get caught up in the little things when you have other people who actually still need your help. Don't get caught up in the social media frenzy of fighting with another either creator or another person. It's not going to end up worth it. If your end game is to truly help the families and find the missing people, don't get bogged down in the stupidity of social media fights like that. It's not worth it. And I don't think he understands that because he doesn't agree with AWP. It's become more of a fight instead of it. I think people should know more about Kiely than they know about SF Investigates, and that's an issue for me.
Hey, Miranda.
Oh, there she goes.
Miranda's here.
Been a minute. How are you?
Sleuth. Okay, so was the Hellcat ever released to AWP? No, they are working. They're working together. I know that they're in touch with each other now, according to what Ryan Upchurch has said, and that's all in the works of timing and what they actually want to do, whether it's going to be the Hellcat or a donation. But according to Ryan, it's like you can't just cash app $100,000. So there's different things that have to take place, and I'm not sure the legalities behind it on Adventures with Purpose side, because I know that they've got their own stuff going on with the business as a whole. So there might just be, I think there's some red tape that doesn't have anything to do with us.
Wolf Slayer said a helicat. That sounds
BS
cool.
BS detector. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. What I think is that don't engage in the fight. If you continue to engage in the fight on social media, then your time is now taken up with the fight on social media versus another creator or anybody really, versus doing anything that's going to actually help. And he's in a position, like Christine was saying, he is boots on the ground. He does have the capability to go out there. His drone footage for Kiely's case was immaculate. The guy can make a difference, and he's going to lose that getting bogged down into YouTube war fights or social media arguments. When, like, for me personally, like, I can't go be boots on the ground. I can't go drive somewhere and go do drone footage. I got 3 kids in the house to take care of. You know what I'm saying? So my biggest contribution is to learn more about the law and then bring it on here and talk and bring awareness to cases. That's what I can offer. This guy has more to offer, and I don't want to get involved in the YouTube fights. Even if here's the thing, even if his license is expired, people keep talking about that with Jim Terry. They've talked about it with SF Investigates. I don't really care because he's not actually hired by this family to go and do anything as a PI. I guess I care if he is trying to say I am a PI and his license is expired, but I'm not digging into any of these folks. So to me, it's like this guy took his own time, drove out there and wanted to help. And if I had the capability of doing that, I would have done the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he's not acting as a licensed PI on behalf of the family, even though
he
does say he's a PI. So I think that we're going to get into some semantics. I did not like yesterday that he did, like, after he got pissed off. Seriously, you ask your doctor for their credentials? No, but normally they have them hanging up everywhere. But I don't really care if he's licensed, and I'm sure as heck not going to dig into the dude's license unless I want to hire him for a case of my own. Then I would.
Well, he said he wasn't hired by the family at all. So, I mean, I don't care if
he said he was or wasn't.
Was not.
Yeah.
That's what I heard, yeah. So he
so right now he's just some dude on Twitter. Like, we're some girls on YouTube, you know what I mean? Like, so he's talking to them and we're not.
I don't think he does social media very often, though, Teresa, like, at all. Does he? Like, with YouTube, going on panels?
He's on Twitter every day. He's on Twitter
right, but like when it comes to YouTube, it doesn't sound like that's something he normally does, is what I mean. So
no, I don't think so.
He does Twitter. He's a Twitter guy.
He sticks to Twitter, but I did, like I said, that would be my constructive criticism for him is to not get bogged down with that and go do what, go do these drone videos and whatnot. That's my advice. And
such a useful tool for people with missing loved ones to have a drone and be able to help in a time where they're missing. I mean, that is such a great thing to do for people, for loved ones, and for the person missing.
I think that he could actually be a big help, by just going out there and helping look around. It reminds me of like Mob Crew. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he did, like, for Dylan Rounds, he went out there and he's been flying his drone. He goes out there and just searches, flew his drone over so many acres of land, just looking for like disruptions and stuff. And by doing something like that, he was able to film it. And if he found anything, he was able to turn it over to law enforcement without ever touching a thing, but he still was able to create the content with it without it being, like, derogatory or fighting with people about it, if that makes sense. So that's why I said I think that he wants to help the family, but when you get close to a family, and anybody on here who's ever gotten close to a family that's involved in a high profile case, you become biased, whether you want to or not. You become biased because you have empathy for what that person is going through, and you're close to them, so you take it out of, you know what I mean? You have to look at it from outsider. And since we're not close to these families, we're taking our empathy and kind of spreading it out. If that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Tiff, did you say something, babe?
No, I didn't. I put my phone down though. I had my phone in my hand, maybe. I felt like does anyone else hear a slight echo, or is it just me?
I think I have a slight delay.
I don't know. I always hear the echo, and then they say I don't hear the echo. So
Really? When that happens, when other people don't hear it, I do. Maybe
okay, is it my turn for show and tell?
Yes, Christine. Yes.
My turn.
Is it my turn for show and tell?
I was just trying to catch up on chat. I missed a lot of comments.
I feel like I'm biased on the case BS detector, and in my own way, I'm biased because I feel like I'm more so an outsider to what all the people around me feel, and I'm like sitting over here like with my own opinion that only is the poll still up, Teresa?
Oh shoot, I don't know. Let's go look.
Oh, look, I
Did
want
you
to
put a poll and forget about it?
I did a poll and then I forgot I did a poll.
No, it's
Look,
up. It's
like
up.
18%.
It's pinned
So
at
like
the top, right?
18%. That's crazy.
poll still is 82% foul play, 18% accident.
Put a poll: camels or the cherries?
Well, if you ask you, it's one combination.
It's both.
Yeah. Right. And then
What am I not seeing that everyone else is where this is concerned? Maybe it's that I'm not like, I don't
No,
know.
Tiff, it's okay. That's the thing, though. If we didn't have 18%ers, if we didn't have the
Right.
view of the world, just to call out and keep certain things into into a certain perspective, especially a respectful, ethical, moral one in a sense, because you're coming more from the heart. We're in the true crime community, so that's where it constantly feels like a mix up to you, especially with this case, because this one it's hitting a little harder. And when if think of the cases that you've done, and look, Summer, you have stuck to this entire time, so it's like you just don't want to see another kid go down in a sense of where they're being like exploited in a sense. But even through this chat, I've watched you see it in different ways and try to see it in different ways. And most people won't even do that. So
I actually
thank
I
you for
can
that.
see it in all the ways, right? Like I see what people are saying and where they're
Yeah.
coming from. But I guess like at the end of the day, when you hear a mom say like, back off my baby, that's like all I need to hear. I'm out. Like no more like goes I wouldn't be able to do incessant live streams over and over every day. Like I know there's going to be people that are just going to continue and they're not going to care at all. But for those who are going to make this, that's going to be their passion, and it's not going to matter what anybody says, right?
Exactly.
I could just never do that too.
T, are you here? Are you right here?
I'm right here.
Okay, so it's my turn now before everybody leaves. So just time out, everybody. Are you ready? Okay.
Oh, okay.
Happy birthday, motherfucker. Happy birthday from Amber at ATS News. I hope you enjoy your day. Happy birthday, Teresa. Love your guts. Happy birthday, my beautiful lover face. I want you to know I love you to death. Keep giving no fucks and talking true crime with your friends. There's so much in store for you. Keep shining. We're surrounded by tons and tons of love. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Teresa. Love you forever. Shanita.
Happy birthday, T. I'm so thankful that you and the rest of the girls have come into my life. All the laughs we have shared, there's nothing like it. Happy birthday, and I hope today and the rest of this year is the best year you have ever had.
Happy birthday, T. I hope you have an amazing day.
Happy birthday, Teresa. Woohoo! Anyway, I just wanted to thank you for all that you do and tell you we're all so proud of you. And also, thank you for taking me on this true crime spree with you. I hope all your wishes come true. Love you. It's BR, by the way.
Hey, Teresa, it's Kelly from CDT. I just wanted to say I hope that you have a very happy birthday. I hope that you have a great day. I am so grateful that we have met and become such good friends. I love talking to you about anything and everything, and of course, chatting true crime. So I just hope that you have a wonderful day and a great birthday.
Happy birthday, T, and many more.
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Teresa. Happy birthday to you. From Kim and Crafton.
You guys.
Happy birthday. I didn't even get to put mine. So a couple people sent me too late, and I didn't even get to put mine in it. And I'm gonna cry. But
you're gonna edit it and add the other one.
Okay,
you guys made me cry.
But I want to put my voice clip in. I've told you before that I had the choice, and you didn't make me make it, and I've never regretted 1 second of it. And it was one of the best choices I've ever made. And, you know, we have had our ins and we've had our outs, and we've fought in front of people and privately, and we keep coming back together. And there's literally nobody else that I would want to be partnered up with right now besides you guys. And I appreciate you more than you know, because we know a bunch of hoes.
It's true, we do.
So happy birthday.
Thank you. You guys are so awesome. I don't even know what I would be. I don't even know where I'd be without all of you.
And everybody, I tried to get the message out to everybody, but it was like a secret, so I couldn't put it on YouTube videos. And some people were late. I'll try to put the other ones that I did get after into the video, and then we can like post it or something. But sorry if you didn't make it. I was in a time crunch.
What's happening?
Oh, it's your party, and you can cry if you want to. She's up here crying. I
love when she cries.
I hate feelings. I'm not good with feelings
Like
at
when
all.
your friends care so much, it's so sweet. You deserve that so much.
It's awesome.
We all know it's been a year. It's been a
We
year.
do deserve friends that just love us so much, right? Like Teresa, especially. And
you're tough, T, and you
guys got me all up in my feelings.
Good.
I love it.
Alex.
Did you hear Jack?
I did. You guys got me all up in my feels.
I didn't want to say it, Christine, because I'm like, wait, hold on.
It's not really your birthday unless you cry a little bit.
Right, I guess so. You got me, and like I said, I really don't
Good
know.
tears,
I don't know
like
where
that.
I'd be. Yeah, like I said, I tell you guys all the time, you know, that you guys see one layer of what we are, and there's just so much more that happens that we don't share publicly. And this has been a really hard year for me.
This has been a big,
and I thank you guys
building
for being here with me.
Like, we're here. We ain't going anywhere because we put the effort in to fight to be friends and stay together. So
this is a choice.
We're
This
here.
is a choice. So know that this is a choice, and we love you, and we are here for you always.
I love you guys, and I love you guys in chat, and Tiffany Marie. I know that like we don't collab and stuff like that, but I know that you're always there. I know. I really know. I know that you're there.
Like this one day, she came up. What are you doing? I just have to say one thing, and then I'm gonna go. So funny.
I did. Well, she was like, I don't want anybody up on panel, but she had the StreamYard link there still, and I was like, she's not answering my question, and I need to get it. I'm like, I know you don't want me up here, but I just need to ask you really quick, and I'm gonna get down. So I asked her real quick, and she was like, you can stay. It's so awesome. You guys are so awesome. I just thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for all your love and all your support. And I know that you guys don't know, but when you guys, the kindness that comes from people is what matters. So if you can be anything in the world, I tell you always be kind, because you don't know the day that you're affecting somebody else in such a way. And I've told this story with Allie. You know, she didn't even know what she was doing, but her kindness changed a lot for me, just because she was just being her and being kind. And you know, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I like good people, and you guys are good people.
Because you're a good person. You attract good because you're good.
I'm glad to be here. I don't ever regret it. And This is where I choose to be.
And I'm glad you solve cases every 5 seconds.
Okay.
Even if I don't give you applause every time, I'm still very proud of you for doing it. Oh, you guys. Okay, now I gotta go. I gotta.
I hope you have
That was a
happy
good birthday live.
Tiffany Marie, thank you for spending my birthday with us.
Absolutely. I'm honored to sit with you on your birthday. When you told me it was your birthday, I'm like, nah. And I felt bad. The first thing I thought was yesterday when you said, you want to come on at 5? And I'm like, oh shit, well, I got this. And then you're like, well, we could do it tomorrow. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then I found out it was your birthday and felt like horrible because she pretty much
this is perfect. This is perfect.
Oh my God.
I know. I'm very happy. I got to do exactly what I wanted to do.
Oh, Marshall Dove, I'm going to give it to you one day.
Look, we finally get Tiffany on, and look, we put her. She's got all the feelings tonight.
I know. She's like, "What did you make me come on here for?"
I have all the feels lately for everybody. I think like I've been super in my emotions. I know other people have been, right? So, and then your birthday, when you receive so much love like that from people, like people don't understand how much they really do mean just showing up in the chat. Like I always say that. It's really all you can ask for is to have good people around you, no matter what. And they really don't know. I say it all the time about subscribers is that they don't know how much like their interaction can have an effect on you too, just showing up, being there.
Happy birthday, Lori.
People really adore you.
Oh man.
And
it's Lori's birthday too. Everybody wish Lori a happy birthday. We share a birthday.
Aw. Happy birthday, Lori.
Oh goodness. Well, you got me all.
Are you having cake tonight, Teresa?
Yeah, my husband is baking my cake for me. He makes the best cakes in the whole world.
Cake, that's so sweet.
He makes the best cakes ever. He bakes all the birthday cakes, and like my family, even my extended family, like calls and requests that he makes a cake for them.
Oh, I'm the
because they love his cake so much. Yeah, he makes amazing cakes.
Is he gonna clean it up?
So while we were talking, he brought out the bowl with the spoon so that I could lick the.
Yeah,
that
sounds terrible. I don't. It was the bowl, and I don't take it any other way. It was just the chocolate. I shouldn't. I'm just gonna stop right now. I'm just stop. But why I'm ahead. I'm behind. I don't even know. Oh gosh, I'm gonna turn my camera off. Oh goodness.
All right, happy Sunday, y'all. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you again, Tiff, for coming up here. Like I said, I respect your thoughts and I respect your opinions always. So
anytime. Thank you for letting me have my own opinion here.
Always. You can always have your own opinion.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, Tiff. We'll see you soon.
Oh, I forgot I have to turn it out. Huh?
Love you, babe.
You could take us out. Thank you guys for the birthday wishes, and thank you guys for spending part of my birthday with me. And you guys could spend this day anywhere else, and you choose to spend it here with me. And I know I tell you guys, but you don't know how much I really appreciate it. So thank you very much for coming and hanging out with us, even for just a few minutes or the whole time. Either way, I appreciate it. We'll see you probably sometime midweek.
Wait, Tay, Amanda just sent you something. Can I play it real fast?
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh, yeah, she was one of the late ones. I'm going to put it all together.
You can put it together, too.
Thank you very much for... Happy birthday, Larissa. We love you.
Oh, wait, that's my YouTube.
That's your YouTube. So the Risa is the Risa is what Ryan Upchurch called me. I'm the Risa. He was like, Zav, do you know this the Risa that's on here with you? Do you know this the Risa? Like, do you actually know her? I was like, it's Teresa.
She's the Risa. That's
I'm the Risa, apparently.
All right, good night, y'all.
All right, good night, everybody. Take care.
Good night, guys.